Where's the hat? I don't see a hat today.
Dude, I'm in shock, man. Steph Curry got injured. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, we're back with more. It's new, and there seems to be a little bit spicy before we even started. Okay,
just a little ribbing.
A little bit. Anyway, I'm going to be covering this, I guess, new-ish Google Creator Summit that happened in DC. What do you got for us, Anu?
So, AI Max, AI what? Advertisers react.
Oh, nice. Greg?
There's a big event in Merchant Center for promotions.
And Mordy?
Google is moving its result counts. Is it a bad idea?
Interesting. I wonder what you're talking about.
That was a bad idea.
Anyway, all right. So yada. Google had another creator summit, like, I don't know, a few weeks ago in DC, Washington.
Is that what they're renaming it now? DC, Washington? Sorry.
Yes. Tomiko Harvey, who's a travel blogger who focuses on safety about traveling as a single, like, solo traveler, was at this event with seven other creators. Just keep in mind, the first 2 days was not this creator summit. It was a small business summit. She called the whole thing a small business summit. The first 2 days was some type of small business summit that they held at DC, which trained a bunch of small businesses, not just those creators, not just those 7 creators, but a bunch of other small businesses, how to create content and do well in Google, as well as social media and so forth. The last day, the small business people went off to, like, help Google lobby in DC, I heard. But the 7 creators stayed and had a specific type of one-on-one session, or 3-on-7 session, with Danny Sullivan, Paul Haar, and H.J. Kim from the Google search team. Okay, so I think if you read her blog post, you'll see she kind of mixes both those types of events together, which is not her fault. I guess Google just called it one thing. That being said, it was super interesting to see her take on this. She is a travel blogger, and she basically was like, I created a lot of content with a lot of fluff because Google wanted us to make long form content, and I put a lot of information in there that my readers just don't have the time to read. And now Google's telling us that they want shorter form content that our readers do have time to read. She goes through basically saying it all makes sense. I was creating content really for Google, even though I was thinking creating content for my readers, and it wasn't the case, and so forth. And then she goes on and on and on about what she experienced there, and also about how Google said they did make mistakes, but it takes time for Google to actually fix their algorithms, and it could take months and months and months for that. But it was very interesting to see Google, do another creator summit. I think they've done several smaller ones, I think in Europe, maybe London. Obviously, we saw the one in Mountain View in California late last year. And now we have another one in DC. And she also has a video on this. And she really did a great job going through what she learned there. The one thing I would have liked to see better was to break out the Small Business Summit with the Creator Summit. In any event, she took it totally different than all the creators from the Mountain View one, the one in the Googleplex, where the one in Googleplex was like, Google hates us and we love Danny Sullivan, but Google screwed us and Google's going to have to fix their algorithm and so forth. Whereas she was like, Google's right. I went ahead and made a lot of money with Google, but now I get it. I was wrong and I'm going to try to do better. That was my take. Maybe I misunderstood it, but Mordy seems like I totally got it wrong.
No, not at all. I didn't read her post yet because I was in a meeting when you sent this out originally, which is why I didn't see your original email. Sorry, I was in a meeting answering emails. But I am horrible. I'm just like the worst person on the planet. What's interesting to me about what you wrote and then what you just said and what she, I guess, wrote, which I really want to read now, is that when you look at her actual website, her content's really nice. It's really good. And like her consulting website, her SEO website. And what's interesting to me is that she's saying that, like, I thought the communication from Google was X, but really it was Y. Because it looks like her content, and you look in the article, like, was it a good article, Barry? Did you like was it good content?
Yes, that piece of content was good. I didn't read her previous content.
Right, but clearly she can create good content if she knew that's what Google wanted. So good job communicating that, Google.
Okay. Yeah, and I know I think we've all been talking about this. Like, I can't stand how Fluff was ranking well in Google. because I always got to the point. I'm like, my readers don't want to sit there. They're busy people. They're reading emails. They don't have time to read more than their emails, and because they're in meetings, and they don't have time to read because they're in meetings constantly.
That's
So
why you're
make
the
the cut-
GOAT, Barry. That's because you can do that
The
at one
GOAT.
one shot. You're the GOAT.
So yeah, so I thought that was interesting. I'm sure this is get a huge stir from the SEO community. So far, it is. Glenn Gabe actually shared this, and I spotted it through Glenn Gabe. But she created a great video. If you like videos, otherwise you can read the content. And I think it was great. It's good stuff. So anyway, talking about other good stuff, AI Max. We covered it yesterday, but it was a wild day for the feedback on AI Max, right, Anu?
It really was. And I really liked to see this because when we talked about what was it when like channel reports for PMAX came out, it's like every other person's went, oh, by the way, channel reports, by the way, channel reports. And I'm like, guys, we know that. What do you think? And this is what happened this time. There was loads of people doing what I think about this. Ginny herself also as well did a Q&A on LinkedIn itself. So yeah, go check Ginny's profile of where she actually posted about it, and people were asking questions like Julie Beccini especially was like, keywordless technology, can you expand on that? And she says that it's about the keywordless targeting used in search and matching like DSA. So not too much difference from DSA stuff. I also like Jill Saskin-Gale's take on it. They kind of did a whole like what people are going to say about it and what actually the truth is. So things like Search Max is the hot new thing. No, the product is called AI Max for search campaigns. And then, yeah, some people might say AI Max is a new campaign type. No, it's not a new campaign type. Yada, yada, yada. And then Menachem, Annie as well did a really great article, I think, on GXT Group there.
Let me guess. He loved it.
Well, he
Didn't read it.
Here he did a little bit like a summary, a takeaway, and he had more of hopes for the future. And he's like his hope is that Google will learn from their mistakes and that AI Max will take advantage of all the machine learning and data available. Basically, he's like giving advice to Google, like, Google, this is what you think, what should be done. And Greg, love your take that this is the future. This is the future of
Greg,
matching.
One thing, I'm upset you didn't hold a coffee while you were doing your video.
I know, guys. I'm like just you're lucky I'm alive.
I'm gonna send you a mug, a Search Engine Roundtable mug, so you can do it.
Yeah, I'll just.
It's gonna cost me $150, but I'm gonna send you
Scented?
I was gonna say I'll steal from my kids' college savings to get one of those mugs.
Wait, so is PMAX dead? Is that like
no? It's totally different. PMAX is a campaign type. AI Max is a creative suite that you enable for a search campaign, but it has nothing to do with the campaign type. The only Max campaign type is PMAX. It's very easy, Morty.
Although, Greg, I've got a question.
Out, dude.
I've got a question. How is it gonna? At what point is it gonna overtake DSA?
I mean, like. I don't have the answers to this, but I would assume a year is DSAs are dead. But I mean, they're not dead. This is a news show. DSAs are still around. but why would you keep a DSA around when you have PMAX and you have AI Max? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I agree.
And you have page feeds. You have page feeds you can run through PMAX. Like you can make it. It's already saying upgrade your DSAs now. Like I understand they're trying to keep people happy and still give them these options, but it makes zero sense.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Wow, that was interesting.
All right, and then if you want to promote that event of when AI Max is coming out, how do you do that?
You just called yourself a journalist, Barry, and in the news notes that you assigned out, I just trust you, and I'm like, oh, I'll take the promotions. This is the same article that you sent us that you wrote near verbatim back on November 13th, 2024. And you're just trying to make me look bad, but I have a higher journalistic integrity than you, Barry. So here, I'll put it in the private chat.
You are right. I got it.
Things are getting
same exact thing.
I was in such a rush. I knew it.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow, Barry
So
just killed you and buried you.
So thank goodness I'm here. I got you with the not new, and we're going to keep this show. It's new. So I'm going to talk about what was spotted in the wild. Google Ads testing site link carousels with images. I would just like to say that this is also a travel item. So I think it's really might be a little bit different based on the fact that it's not like a standard unit. I would say like there's reviews in there. There's the number of reviews. There's pricing. So I think that this is a travel issue, but I think it's also a good idea for anybody that is using site links and making sure that you have, even in just all of your ads and assets, having images. We're seeing more images come into Google Ads. And so that is my takeaway for you. Thank you, Barry.
I took it and I updated the post already, and I'm ashamed. I'm going to throw in my It's New hat. I don't deserve to wear it. Oh, God. I'm not the GOAT anymore.
Oh, no,
That's for you, Morty.
No, you're still a goat. So didn't come out right. Also, Greg, you're my hero. You're everything I could want to be.
Oh, God.
So in really big news, I'll cover it really quick. We've gone on really long, and Barry's, or I could see him fidgeting like, let's get this show over with already. Google is testing moving the results count within another menu. A newer version of the same kind of thing they're doing before.
That is something to chew on, isn't it?
It really is. Also, there were goats spotted on the lawn by Google Bayview, which is really interesting.
They do this
The
every
hell
year.
is that?
Actually,
It's got
they
goats
bring in
there.
they bring in animals like to like eco-friendly way of mowing the lawn at Google, which probably costs
as
them
they build a
50
brand
times
new
more.
data center right next to it.
Anyway,
Do you know how much money it costs to haul these goats in on a truck and how much
It's
gas and fuel and everything? Like, what on earth are we doing? This is
You
just
don't
like
haul
virtue
goats by a
signaling.
truck. You get a shepherd to lead them.
Oh, really?
how much is the time for that shepherd to leave? It's
What
so
shepherd is getting those goats across the highway
Dude,
in
I got a neighbor
California?
who has goats. Legit. He's got goats.
Yeah, that's different. You live in like some like I don't know, some
This is
weird place.
California, dude.
You know what's interesting? It probably was Danny Sullivan because he used to live in like some place in Europe that literally was so remote that he had like I was like on conference calls with him back in the old days with the old Skype, which went offline yesterday. And you see goats like walking past his window in the back when he used to like live there. It was like, where do you live? He's like, he had dial-up internet. I'm like, what's going on? So I bet you it was Danny Sullivan who led those goats, who shepherded
Wow.
those goats there.
You brought one goat back, and now he's got like 500 of them.
Any event, we're back tomorrow with more It's New. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.